Awesome.
Hello,
Welcome,
everyone.
everybody.
So, hi, Sangeeta. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Ryan.
Hello.
Hi, Rashmi. And everyone online.
Hey.
Yes. So, I'm now at the red light zone, as you can see. I thought that's funny, but it seems like no one thinks it's funny.
No, and red light zone in India is something else.
Sorry,
No,
come
but
again?
he
meant
meant
it?
that.
Okay.
He meant that. I think he meant that, Rashmi. I think the red light zone is same everywhere in the world, babe.
Okay. I'm sorry, my bad.
Okay, so what are we going to talk about tonight?
Are we talking about money?
Are we talking about money? Really?
Are we?
No, not money this time.
No. Are we talking about health?
No. What else are we talking about?
Do I get one more chance?
Yes. Well, you can have 10 chances.
So are we talking about entities?
I think so.
I think so too. Is everybody ready to talk about entities?
I don't care, are they ready or not? I am ready.
Let's go then. Let's go, Ryan. I'm gonna do what I always do. I'm gonna hand this over to you.
Okay. So entities is a very interesting topic. Before you joined this call, so we were having some technical difficulties, and I was joking that blame it on the entities. Whenever something don't work, blame it on the entities. And this is actually something that a lot of people do. Even they have done a lot of access classes, they still blame it on the entities. Have you seen this kind of situation before?
Actually, it's very interesting that I have 3 gadgets and all 3 refuse to work. So I am definitely going to blame it on the entities.
Okay, in this case, it might be valid. It might be correct. Okay, so for all of you online, so when we say entities, we mean ghosts. Okay, just for your information. The entities, they actually can affect our electronic devices, our internet, blah, blah, blah. So it's actually possible. But I started with the joke because sometimes they are quite innocent. They are like, no, it's not me this time. But we just keep blaming the entities. Okay. So for now, because of tonight, this class, this free Zoom is about entities. There will be a lot of entities joining us. Actually, I can sense it. So I can sense that there are quite a lot of entities joining me in this red light zone. I actually can sense like someone behind me, even though I see no one. So wherever you are right now, let's say you are in your room, but you feel like you are not alone, that's correct. Just for your information.
Right.
So,
but is there I can totally sense them, and I know that I'm not alone. And the interesting thing about entities is they are actually pretty innocent because they don't even know that they're affecting our electrical system. It's just one of the ways that's easy for them to get our attention because they don't have bodies like us, right? So that's one of the ways they get our attention, and which is cool. But when a situation like this shows up, and it is an entity call today, so obviously it's not wrong to expect lots of entities to be here. But what can we do to create a little more ease with all our computers and phones, and to have like total ease with this call?
So very easy. Let's say, you see, as what you said, they are quite innocent. Sometimes they don't even know that they are affecting the phone, the internet. It's like when you go to your friend's house and then you just accidentally step on one of the cable and then like it got unplugged.
Yeah.
You're like, no, not me, no, what? Right? You didn't even know you are doing that. So
Right.
Now let's ask the entities, okay? Just ask. It's easier than you thought. So entities, hey, shall we have fun? Let's cooperate, let's co-create. a space where everyone get to learn something and have fun tonight.
Yes.
And when I made that request, I could hear a lot of tiny voices like, yes, 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 okay. Yeah. See, in other situations, if you hear a lot of voices like that, you would thought that you are crazy. You would think like, okay, I must be crazy. No, actually, you all hear entities. You are not accidentally joining this class tonight. This topic attracts you because you actually have capacities in this area. You actually hear them, just that you haven't acknowledged you have this ability.
Thank you so much for saying that, Ryan, because I remember when I was introduced to the first Talk to the Entities class, and it was something that I couldn't get out of my head. Everything around it was intriguing me, and I was like, oh, why the hell am I so attracted to this topic when, you know, I had enough problems to deal with in my life, and this wasn't one more thing that I wanted to deal with. There were so many things that needed to be fixed, and there was money, and there were children, and there was so many things, and I was like, I'm not getting into this, right? But I couldn't keep myself away. So whenever there was like a call or there was a discussion, and then of course Shannon had come down to India to do the class, I just found myself there. And thank you for saying that. If you're on this call, and if you're intrigued by this topic, even like a 1%, you have a question, you have like a curiosity in your world, there is a great chance that you have a lot of capacity and potency with entities, and you've always had it. But just that no one's ever told us how to deal with them, and there's so much taboo around it in the world that no one actually talks about it without like a judgment attached to it. And the other thing also that you said, which I wanted to add to, was you said all of us can hear entities, and actually we all do it in a different way, right? So you may hear the yes, 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 but for me it was instantly a space. So I knew that they were willing to play, and that they were giving me the space to be on this call with greater ease, and yet have them around, right? So all of us do that a little differently.
Yep. So your capacity with entities cannot be defined, and it cannot be compared to anyone else. But then, this is something that most people don't want to acknowledge, that they have ability in this area. Because if you go around telling people, oh yeah, I can hear entities, I see them, people are going to think you are crazy. Okay, you are beyond crazy. So for me, I first learned entities, I think 8 years ago. It was something very similar. Okay, when I saw the Talk to the Entities class, it was like a sensation. It was a strong urge, like, okay, I need to do this class. And then, so it's like, it pulled me in, and then I was like, no. I have, why would I want to do this Talk to the Entities? And by the way, I didn't even believe in ghosts 8 years ago. so I was like, well, no. Let's say ghosts are real. Let's say they exist. But why would I want to talk to them, right? I have a lot more things to do. Why would I want to talk to them? But, well, you can't really avoid it. So every day, as soon as I woke up, I was like thinking about the class. I was like, okay, I need to do this class. And then I was like, no. So I have a lot of conflict inside me. So instead of conflict, it was more, I should say, it's my mind was stopping me. You see, our mind have a lot of conclusions, like what's correct, what is not correct, what is right. And then, but I still sense something that I should do that will expand my life. And guess what? After having a lot of fight inside my head, finally I chose to attend the class. I could just choose it right away. That will create a lot more ease for me, but I didn't choose ease. Okay, I'm sure I'm the only one that don't choose ease. So after I have enough fight, finally I chose that class. And that opened up a lot of abilities for me. My whole life changed in ways that I can never predict, I can never expect. And my life still keeps changing until today. So Talk to the Entities, it was something that I resist at first. I didn't understand at first. And then until now, it's something that I practice maybe every day, and it keeps changing my life. So what's your story, Sangiita?
So interestingly, as a child, I was always watching horror movies. Always. Of course, I kept all the lights on. And I think that whole conversation around misidentifying and misapplying excitement for fear, that was very true in my world. I thought I was afraid, but when I would like think of like watching a horror movie or like listening to one of these mysterious stories, I'd be all ears, my eyes would light up and I'd be like, yeah, I want to know. It's almost like there was this knowing, and I not as a child, I couldn't have worded it like this, but there was always this knowing that there was another world that existed of beings that maybe I cannot see with my eyes, but I know that they're there, right? And I would feel the presence of, so when we were growing up, we followed the Sikh religion, the Sikh. So we didn't have an idol that we prayed to, but we did have a guru that we prayed to. And yet he was not one of those gurus where we gave all our power to. He was just more like a guardian, sort of a just and I would feel his presence continuously. He was never in a body. I never saw him in a body. He's like centuries old. So I would feel his presence, and every time I was scared, I would just ask him to accompany me. And I didn't know that I was talking to the entities at that time. I would just ask him to accompany me, and mostly like even like from my room to the bathroom was like 1 kilometer long, because we lived in this, if you know the houses in Jakarta, they are like over the shops, and it's mostly just one bathroom in the house, and it's not like all rooms didn't have bathrooms at that time. And so it was like a long hall, and I would just close my eyes and make a dash for it at night, especially when there were no lights and stuff. So I knew that there was something in it, but then life catches up and you grow up, you're working, you get married, blah blah blah, blah. And I kind of lost a little bit of the touch with that world. I think I revisited it when I had my kids, because I would tell them ghost stories and I tell them stories about witches, and I get so excited, and my kids would look at me like, why are you so excited about something so scary, right? And I have such a funny story to tell you. One day my daughter and my son insisted that I tell them a story about a witch. And I got so carried away. It was like a makeup story. I got so carried away that at one point in the story, when when I said, and the witch laughed, and I actually laughed like a witch, both my kids ran out of the room to the main door, and I fell off the bed laughing, and they came back like mouse, and they said, don't ever do that again.
Can you
But that's when
demonstrate?
I
Can you
actually
can you demonstrate how do you laugh like a witch?
I don't want everyone on this call to run away. But I promise, whoever comes to the class in Bangalore will definitely get to hear it, because it's one of my most favorite laughs. In any case, when I got into talk to the entities, actually, to be very honest, Ryan, can I tell you a little secret? I was very disappointed.
So this is not a secret anymore. Okay, we have like, I don't know, 50, 60 people. Go ahead, go
Yeah.
ahead. Tell the whole world your secret.
I was so disappointed because there was no trauma drama.
Wait. Muting someone. Okay, keep going.
I was so disappointed because there was no trauma drama. Because if you watch any Hindi, any Indian teleseries or any story around ghosts in India, actually not just India, even in the Western world, like exorcism and like even when the witches brew their pots, or like when they turn someone into a frog, there's so much trauma and drama, right? Like there's so much of the dramatic bit. So when I went for my first talk to the entities, I was like, what the hell? There was no drama. It was so easy. And it was so easy that I didn't use the tools till I attended that class again after 6 months. Like, because I couldn't believe something could be that easy.
Cool.
Of course. And like you, then my whole world changed, my whole life changed. And then I decided to become a facilitator. And I haven't stopped since then. And talking to the entities has made, oh my God, it's contributed so much in my life. And I'm sure you would also have a lot to talk about that. And I was just wondering whether, anybody here online had like a question around what is an entity and why should we do like talk to the entities?
Okay. So let me explain what is entity in a way that is not scary and that is without drama. Okay. So You are an entity
So
as well.
boring.
Yes, in a very boring way. You are an entity with a body, with a physical, touchable body. Before you have this body, you are an entity. After you have this body, you are an entity. So the only difference between you and an entity is you have a body. See, that's really boring, right?
Yeah. Having a body is not boring.
Yeah. So if you are afraid of ghosts, you should be afraid of yourself.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So how
So,
many of us are truly afraid of ourselves? Everything that is, can we please destroy and uncreate it all?
right, wrong, good and bad, talk and part, all nice, boys and beyonds. So if you have so much rejection about entities, how many % of you yourself that you have to reject? Aha.
Wow, that one.
Everything there is times a
Wow.
gazillion. We'll not destroy and credit all.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, talk and part, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. So that the rejection of entities is ultimately self-rejection.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. And so, of course, there are some differences between us and entities, but it doesn't make them scary just because of they don't have a physical body. If you think that they are scary, guess what will happen? Let's say everyone keep believing all these lies, keep judging entities as bad and wrong and evil, keep having fear. Let me tell you what will happen. So after some years, okay, I don't know how long you will live, but after you die, when you are an entity, then people are going to judge you the way you judge entities right now.
Oh
When
my
people
God.
see you, people are going to like, ah, you are bad, go away. And then you're like, what? I'm so cute. Why are you, why do you have fear?
Yeah. I'm like Casper.
See, now you understand it a little bit more. You know, oh wow, we have so many lies. We are living in all this insanity. So that's why we have this program called Talk to the Entities. It's founded by Shannon O'Hara. So you can say that this Talk to the Entities is the only education about entities that is without lies, without insanity, and it's totally boring.
Actually, yeah. Actually, it's very practical and easy.
Yeah, it's boring. When it's too easy, too practical, people find it boring. Look at your whole life.
Yes.
I mean, I don't mean Sangeeta, I mean like everyone else. If all the problems disappear in your life, no more challenges, what will you do? You're like,
Get bored.
So, what else can I tell you?
So I think since the entities topic is like so huge, right, Ryan? What I learned over, like, now it's been like so many years since I did my first talk to the entities, and I've been facilitating it for like 5.5 years now, almost 6. And every year we get to do all these amazing classes with Shannon, and it just deepens our understanding a little more. It makes our interaction so much better. So what I would like to just share with everyone is that, yes, in the 2.5 day class, we do start by addressing beings without bodies, but talk to the entities is so much more than just that. Because, like Ryan said in the beginning, that everything is an entity, including you, right? So when you learn to talk to the entities, you learn a communication which you've never thought was possible, never experienced before, and you start honing the ability to actually start communicating to everyone and everything around you, and not just communicating to them, but also receiving communication from everyone and everything around you. And that uh, was like I still get aha moments with just that bit. It's like you are talking to someone and they're saying something out of their mouth, but it doesn't match the energy because they're actually thinking something else in their head. And because you've learned this subtle communication, you actually can pick that up. And that's so interesting. Or like just being able to get a sense of the energies around you, and being able to, like you gave us that example, no, Ryan, imagine being able to talk to money and asking money to come, and then it just comes.
Well, most people here
Right.
don't know the conversation that we had.
Yeah, but I mean, just like, because money is also an entity. Yeah.
So just, I think 2 days before, I can't hear you. I can still see you talking, but I cannot hear you.
I think I'm lagging.
Oh, okay. So just to give them some information. So a few days ago, they were asking me, like, what's top 2 entities to me? Why? Okay, so what's the benefit of learning this? If, let's say, you don't believe in entities, let's say you don't care about entities, will this still be something that can contribute to your life? I said, yes, definitely. So if you look at dictionary, the word entity, the meaning is actually whatever that can be defined, it is an entity. So that's why I said, you are an entity, your phone is an entity, your car is an entity, your house is an entity. So everything is entity. Although you learn directly in this class, you will learn to talk to ghosts, but it's the same way. Whatever you learn, you can use to talk to your house, talk to your car, and talk to whatever else. I had one participant, she told me after she learned the talk to entities, her dog listened to her. So previously, she was telling the dog, like, dog, sit. The dog would look at her like, what? Okay. And then after that class, so she has the ability to talk to entities, and it also opened up her ability to talk to the animal. The animal is, of course, entity as well. And then suddenly, this becomes something easier for her. And then you can also talk to money. So imagine if you can talk to money and say, hey, money, come. And then the money as an entity say, oh yeah, sure, I will come. Your whole life can change.
Yes. And that's the interesting part, right, Ryan? Because in the Talk to the Entity class, there are 3 things that we learn, right? We learn to communicate, we learn to clear, and we learn to receive. And my money has totally changed after the Talk to the Entity class. And this is, of course, communicating with money, but more than that, receiving the contribution from entities.
So,
right?
You see, without all the drama, without all the bullshit, talk to entities is, you can categorize, you can classify what they do into 3 different things, as you said. So number 1 is clearing. When you clear, okay, for most of the entities that you will encounter, at least 85% of those entities have nothing to do with you. They are like strangers, okay? So let's say you go out, you see some strangers, you don't care about them. Why would you care so much about the entities that you perceive? All you need to do is just clear them. So if you cannot clear them, then maybe there's something else you need to do. Maybe you need to talk to the entity. Maybe the entity wants to talk to you or something. So at first you clear. You cannot clear, then only you talk. Okay, and then there's a receiving part. I saw someone say that, can we talk about the receiving part a bit more? Yes, but then the receiving part becomes something so hard when we have so many misconceptions, so many fear about entities. So yes, it's possible, but you have to clear out all these lies that you have bought about entities first. If you keep seeing entity as something bad and wrong, there's no way you will let them contribute to you. They come with
which is what we do in the 2.5 days. Which is what we do in the 2.5 day class, right? We clear all your misconceptions. We clear all your point of views about entities so that you come to a space of receiving them and from them, which can actually change your whole life, right? I remember I had a student in class, and actually Rashmi was in that class, Ryan. She was asking to get married for a really long time. And after that class, she actually got married. So don't be surprised as what can open up in a Talk to the Entity class. I'm not going to give the details because then we'll be giving away the class, right?
Thanks, there'll be
even
a
your
line
relationship,
of people.
yeah.
Now I'm really afraid. Now I'm really afraid because I don't want to get married. Should I still go to your class?
Yes, Ryan, please come.
Well, Ryan, she really desired to get married, right?
Oh,
So
yeah, that's different
you,
case. Okay, all right. Now I'm
yeah.
safe. All right. Okay. Speaking of that,
And
I want to add a little story for you about getting married. Uh, so it was last year. Yes, that happened last year. So my grandmother passed away. I don't know, maybe 10 plus years ago. I can't even remember anymore. Way too long. Uh, I've never dreamed about her. I've never seen her. I've never talked to her. Even I have learned to talk to the entities. And then last year, sometime last year, she popped up into my, like, she just suddenly showed up. And then I was like, oh, why are you here? What's going on? And then guess what? She was like, I want you to get married. You should get married. You are so old now. It's time to get married. I was like, oh. So you see, if I didn't have this awareness about entities, if I didn't have this clarity about entities can communicate with us, then my grandmother could put the thought into my head like, oh, okay, it's time I should get married. And then I would thought, oh, yeah, I should get married. So I would take other people's point of view and then act out according to that. But luckily, I didn't. All right. So sorry, Grandma, no chance for you. No chance for you to control my life in a way that you want and I don't want. So
that's such an interesting thing. But you said, Ryan, so entities, like when you don't have the tools, they still exist, right? And so they put so many thoughts in your head, and when you have the tools, you can discern what thoughts are yours, what thoughts are not yours, what is your reality, and who's putting thoughts in your head, and you can do something about it, which is such a cool. I mean, you know, I've been in an entity class so many years, but what you said just now just kind of went walk in my world right now. The fact that they can put thoughts in your head all the time, right? Like, that's so cool.
okay, so let me, so just now I started this call by saying that you all actually hear entities. Now let me give you a little bit more information about that, okay? If you talk to yourself, you will start with I. So let's say, I want to get married. I don't want to get married. It starts with I. But if you hear some voices like, you should do this, you should get married, you shouldn't do this, blah, blah, blah. It starts with you. It's another being. It's very simple. So now all of you, recall back all the crazy thoughts that you have in your, or all the voices that you heard in the last 1 week. Okay. How many of those are like you? Way too much. Someone said, wow, way too much. Okay. Because entities, oh, by the way, most of you here online, you are from India. Congratulations. You live with tons of entities. And a lot of you
Yes.
are from Indonesia. Congratulations. You live with tons of entities as well. So, so you
It's
live
the
in
hub.
a,
It's the hub.
yes. So you, in some places, okay, I'm not sure how to explain this to you. I'm sure there are some places that when you are there, you have like clearer mind. You are like, have bigger space. So those areas have less entities, so that you have like, oh, okay, I have clearer mind. And then when you are in a place with a lot of people, and of course a lot of entities, you're like, you don't have clear mind anymore because you hear them. So okay, so you whether you like it or not, whether you hate it or not, whether you're afraid or not, they exist and they keep talking to you. Good luck. So
Wow. Yeah. So they exist and we exist, and this class is about how you can, include them, and how it can be a contribution for you, and how you can be a contribution for them, right?
yes, you see, access consciousness. So talk to entities is a specialty class of access consciousness. Access consciousness is about creating a, about inviting us to a reality where the oneness exists. Okay, there's no separation, there's no judgment. And when we say oneness, when we say no judgments, it includes with the entities. You see, since there are so many entities, if you can receive them, you receive a lot more.
Yes.
So instead of judging them, why not let them be a contribution to your life?
Absolutely. Can I share something here, Ryan?
Yes.
You know what? When I went for my first talk to the entities class, Shannon said that the one thing that you have to, like, if you really want to do this work, you've got to start trusting yourself. And that was one thing I didn't have in my world. I doubted myself for everything. And despite using a lot of tools and access, I was only beginning to build that muscle, right? But when I got into talk to the entities, it was almost like there was no other, like, it was such a gift, because till I didn't trust myself, I couldn't do the work required. And as I kept doing the work, I started trusting myself more and more and more. And I have changed as a person who used to doubt her awareness, who had to ask 10 questions from everybody and, you know, validate everything I was choosing, to becoming this person who just, like, can sense it, chooses it, and goes for it. Like, you know, and that change has been the greatest gift for me from the Talk to the Entities class. The ability to actually trust myself and, you know, not have to depend on someone else to tell me what I know. And that started building in the Talk to the Entity class. And as I started using the tools more and more and more and more, my whole life changed.
Yep. That is something that definitely will happen. You cannot keep doubting you at the same time and then you want to talk to entities. Because
it's not possible.
Talk to the entities is something that you cannot ask someone else to validate for you. Let's say you talk to an entity and then you cannot ask someone else, hey, did I really talk to the entity? Your friend will just think you are crazy. So you will really learn to trust you, even though no one else believe what you just did. You will learn to trust you, even though no one else understand you. So this is something very important that most people have never been taught. Okay, so consider this as a side effect of doing talk to entities. Okay, so whether after the class, whether you keep talking to entities or not doesn't matter, but at least you trust you a lot more.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, there are actually, to be honest,
Wait, I
talking
cannot
to
hear
the
you.
entities is one of those classes that has a lot greater. I said talking to the entities has a lot of these side effects. Trusting
Yes.
you is just one of them. And each one has contributed into making my life greater and greater and greater and greater.
Mm-hmm.
And how does it get any better than this? Yeah.
We have a few questions in the messages.
Yes, let's go for it.
Okay, so I will take the last question. So someone said, in bars and foundation class, we clear the entities. And in this class, we are sort of asking us to build a relationship with them. It's confusing. Please clear. All right. See, entities is a huge subject. Okay, so even Sangeeta have been doing it for years. We are still learning. So it's not like, oh, I attend 2 days class, I already know everything. Yes, you know a lot, but it's still ongoing. It's a huge subject. There's no way we can give you all this information in the bus class and in the foundation class. As I said, most of the entities, so I talked about that just now, at least 85% of the entities that you encounter have nothing to do with you. That's why you clear them. Okay. Now, there are some other entities that have something to do with you, or you have something to do with them, but you didn't have the tools to deal with them. Then in this class, you have these skills, these techniques, this ability to deal with them. So now I hope that gives you the clarity of why we clear them in the foundation class, and now why are we talking to them. Great, you're welcome.
Can I also add something?
Yeah. you are freezing.
Yeah, science is stuck. So, Rand, there's one more question Helen has asked.
Okay.
When I heard the talk, do you want to go through that? You want me to read it out for you?
You read it.
Okay, when I heard the talk to the entities class for the first time, I was excited. But when asking me whether I want to attend the class, and I even asking the question of it, I choose the class, what will my life be in 5 years' time? I get an answer of not choosing the class. Is that means it is not the right time for me to attend the class? But then I just cannot decide it. I keep feeling like I need to go as I need it. And then I also feel like that I'm not going. This conflict is making me feel that I'm going crazy and I don't like this feeling. Is there any advice on the situation?
That's my answer. So people with entities, okay, let me tell you what. One of the symptoms for people having a lot of entities is it's very hard for you to make decision. Because let's say, I like to use the analogy of a company. So let's say in a company, there are four shareholders, four bosses, okay? One will say, let's go to east. Another say, let's go to west. Another say, let's go to north. Another say, let's go to south. You can't go anywhere. But if you are the only boss, you're like, yeah, let's go to the south. And then everyone go. But then now, come to your own life. If you have other entities in your life, hanging around you, playing with you, disturbing you, giving you random thoughts, when you say, I want to attend the class, another say, no, let's not do it. When you say you want to go to eat something, some entity will say, no, you shouldn't eat. So maybe one entity say, eat Indian food. Another entity say, eat Chinese food. Another entity say, no, don't eat. You're like, shit, what should I do?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have that, congratulations, you hear them. It means you already hear them. You have this capacity of hearing them, just that you have no idea how to deal with your awareness.
Yeah.
So, what else should I say? Okay, so she actually wrote something quite long.
Yeah.
It might only you know when you should do the class. But let's say if you keep feeling like you should do the class, it's like a sensation pulling you. This is very similar to how I talk to entities. I felt like I need to do this class, but then I was the one that kept telling myself like, no, don't do it. So I was fighting myself. And you could be picking up thoughts from other people, or there might be entities that stop you from doing this class. Entities are just like someone else. It's just like a real person. Some people will stop you from learning. Some people, they support you to learn more. There are entities that would love to see you be more conscious, more aware. And there are some entities that would love to see you not changing, remain unaware, so that they can keep on affecting you. So which one? Only you know.
Yeah.
All right. Where is Sangeeta?
Yeah.
Sangeeta, are you still there? Oh yeah.
Awesome. I'm right here. Yeah, I'm right here. Yeah, so that's so cool. There's also another question in the chat. Hear me, I'm an entity. Only hear me.
I can hear you, but I cannot see you. This is you. You are like entity. You are like, okay.
That's what I'm saying. That I'm an entity. So, one question on the chat is about someone who's asked, like, if I ask entities to bring me money so that I don't have to ask my husband to attend your class. Actually, very interestingly, when I felt a lot of entity activity and I wanted to do the advanced and the facilitator class, and I really, at that point, didn't have the money. I just didn't make the money significant, and I told the entities, hey, listen, if you want me to do this work, make it ease, joy, and glory for me. And the money did show up. So give it a shot. But don't, like, my interesting point of view is, please don't, it never shows up the way you think it will show up. So what if your husband gives you that exact amount as a gift? So don't dismiss where it can come from, and don't like already pre-decide that I don't want it from my husband. Just ask for ease, joy, and glory, including the money, and see what shows up.
Maybe the money come from your husband, but actually it's entity's contribution through your husband.
Exactly. How does it get any better than this?
How does it get any scarier than this?
Well, I think wives are more scarier than husbands, so she's sorted on that front.
Okay. So, what other questions do we have?
We have one more question regarding the coronavirus, about asking entities to contribute to knowing when to sell and when to buy stocks. So do you have something to share about that? I mean, asking entities to make you money and, contributing to your business is like such a wide topic, right?
I have a little bit things to add. Number one, they have nothing to do with coronavirus at all. I don't know why you bring in the topic of coronavirus. Number two,
yeah.
why do you assume the entities have this ability with stock? Right? See, most of us, most people have this idea, this belief that the entities, they are great, they are super powerful, they are wise, they know everything. So we ask them for everything. You are making the entities too powerful, okay? And this is exactly how you screw up your life. Your point of view create your reality. If you think they are powerful, they are the source of awareness, they can tell you when to do something, when not to do something. Guess what? You make your entire life listening to the entities. And guess what? Do you think they care about you having a good life? No. So this is the problem that most people have. We listen to too much entities and we keep believing that they are the source of awareness. Let's use money as an example. Most people are terrible with money, okay? Most people. If you walk around asking people some advice about money, you are going to get a lot of lies, a lot of bullshits, a lot of judgments. And when these people die and pass away and they become entities, and if you listen to them, oh, guess what? Good luck. This is how you screw up your life. That's my answer.
Tell me something, Ryan. We are also going to be doing that specialty class on entities and money. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
Yeah. So without giving away the class, what can we tell them a little bit that will be an invitation to this class as well?
Okay. Yes. Okay. Sense the energy. All of you. Throw your crazy mind away. Throw your logical, crazy, stupid mind away, and use your awareness. How many entities are waiting to give you money? Don't go into right or wrong. Don't go into why they want to give you money. Just sense how many are waiting, but your stupidity stop them from contributing money to you. Hello. Your crazy mind, you are thinking will not get you rich. Okay, you thinking too much is how you stop them from contributing money to you. Okay, so that's my answer.
Wow, awesome. How does it get any better than this? I've never heard a better invitation. Thank you so much, Ryan, for that one.
I think I'm being very bad today.
No, I think you're being extremely good. And what is good and what is bad, right? You're just being an invitation. I love that. Also, if I may add, we had like a couple of questions around, about doing the specialty classes and not doing the 2.5-day class. I get a sense. I just wanted to tell everybody that the specialty classes are just an add-on. They're the icing on the cake. But you want the whole cake and the icing, then come for the 2.5-day class, because that is where your foundation is built. That is where you learn the tools to then expand into, addressing the other topics, which are also entities like money and relationships, right? And we are doing those 2 classes. I mean, it's a bonanza. It's going to be a party. So don't miss it, is all I'm going to say.
Can you also announce the dates?
Okay. I think I want to give you the correct information about what's actually going on. So initially the plan is Sangiita and I, we will do the Talk to Entities class in Bangalore, the 2.5-day class. And then, so that starts from Friday evening and then Saturday and Sunday full day. And then we want to make it even more fun. So on Saturday night, we have this called Money and Entities. So as a specialty class that you can join only that class, but if you join the Talk to Entities, you get all the tools, and this evening class will open up your ability even more. You learn how to apply all these tools you learn in 2.5 days in the area of money. And then on Sunday night, there is this title. What's the title? What's the topic?
Entities and relationships.
Yes, yes. Entities and relationship. Yes. You have no idea how entities can affect your relationship. It's a huge topic. That's why it's a special 2 hours evening class. So that's what we have planned. But then, just I think this morning, I read the news that now people like me, foreigner, I cannot go to India for the time being. Blame it on the entities. No, in this case, blame it on the virus. No, in this case, blame it on the whoever set the law. Okay, so
all the stupid people.
So, but I still want to do this Zoom tonight with Sangiita because we know this Zoom will contribute to a lot of people, give you all the information. That's why we keep doing it. We might do the class in a different date, postpone it, or we might do maybe only the evening class, because the evening class we can do it online. So at this moment we have no idea yet. The news just came to me this morning. But just for you to know, this is something that Sangiita and I have been planning. If we don't do it end of this month, maybe we do it some other time.
Yeah, we're not canceling anything as of now because anything can change. And we know that we are magicians and we may be able to change it. But we will keep you updated in time so that you have enough time to plan if you're joining us. And we're also trying to see what else is possible with this class, right, Ryan? Like if there's any other way we can continue doing the 2.5 day as well. So the intro and the beginning as of now has been scheduled for 27th of March to the 29th of March. And the specialty classes are happening on the 28th and 29th evenings, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And
awesome.
then, Sangiita and I are also going to do the same thing in Jakarta.
Indonesia. Yes, in Jakarta
in
May. Yes.
So,
yes. So I'm so excited. Like, that's been so cool.
Let's say the virus thing doesn't affect us. We can fly wherever we want to fly to. That means we will have the class in Bangalore end of this month and sometime in mid of May. Right?
Yes.
In Jakarta.
In May. Yeah. Awesome. And in worst case scenario, if we don't go ahead with the 2.5 day class because Ryan wouldn't be able to travel and nothing else comes off, I will pock and pod all of that. I'm still saying yes to the classes. We will definitely have the specialty classes in the evening on the 28th and 29th. So that is still on no matter what. That's going to be an online class. And for the 2.5 day, let's just contribute what else is truly possible and what magic are we up to with all of this. So who knows what else is possible.
Someone wants to know, can you do the space clearing in Jakarta? Can you do a specialty class clearing space in Jakarta? That's a request.
Of course we can. House clearing is I think Ryan and my favorite topic as well.
I have a lot of favorite topics.
I think we're just good at clearing everything.
We definitely can. There are so many things that we can talk about. So many classes that we can do. We also look at the energy of what classes can contribute to most people, what is most required. So if you keep asking, if enough people asking for that, yes, that will happen.
Awesome. How does it get any better than this?
So,
Ryan, we have one more question. Can we take that before we close it?
Sure.
So there's a question from Divya's asking that her grandmother who passed away 13 or 14 years ago keeps coming in her dreams, and whenever there's someone in the family who's about to pass away or is about to have a health problem, she gets the information through the dream. But she's not able to totally get clarity as to who it is going to be. So she's asking if there is any other way, if she knew who it was, she could probably provide timely help. That's her question. Like, what can she do?
Come
to our class?
Okay. Okay. That's a good answer. All right. Okay. You have capacity in this area. If you can sense someone is going to pass away, you have capacity in this area. It doesn't mean you need to do something. It really depends on the situation. But now, the other part of her question, or his question, is if you dream about someone that passed away, yes, it is really the entity coming to you. But your mind will have a lot of doubt. You go into disbelief, blah, blah, blah. But now I give you the information. It's really entities coming to you, okay? The reason why they come to you when you are asleep is because when you are awake, your logical mind is so strong. You are analyzing everything. You know, in the bus class, we say, if you are thinking, you are thinking. So you think so much in the daytime, they don't want to come near you. Well, that's a joke. You think so hard, think so much in the daytime, they cannot talk to you. When you are asleep, when your mind is shut down, not as critically thinking, then there's a chance they can come and talk to you. You didn't think that much when you are sleeping, so they can come to you. So that's why they come to you in your dream. But if you are willing to talk to them, let's say you have this ability, you're willing to talk to them in daytime, then they don't have to only come to you when you are asleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. And of course, we will talk more about your capacity with death when you come, and you can ask us questions about that, because that's a whole different area as well. But yeah, awesome. Like,
so I just want to make it more fun. So everywhere you are thinking so much and you make you so stinky, and that entities cannot come to you and talk to you and contribute to you or give you money because you are so stinky because of your thinking. Will you please destroy and create it all?
yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, talk and pot, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds.
Yeah.
And you are not just thinking and thinking. You are overthinking. That means you are overthinking.
Everything that is, can we please destroy it and create it all?
Right, wrong, good and bad, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds.
Awesome. How does it get any better than this, and what else is possible, guys? Okay.
Someone's like,
one second.
sorry. One of the person is saying entities are not allowing my question to be read.
No, actually, Sandhya, I did see your question, and we have addressed it in the previous question that Mansi asked about asking for money to show up. All you have to do is ask for the money to show up, and it will show up. But don't have this point of view that it cannot come from your parents. Like she has a point of view that it shouldn't come from her husband, because it can come through your parents. The entities can contribute through your parents too. So have no point of view. Just ask and be willing to receive, and don't have a point of view as to how it is going to show up.
Yes. And by the way, this is the 3rd time Sangeeta and I have been doing online random talk, random conversation together.
Yes.
Our last conversation was about money. So please listen to that if you haven't.
Yeah. So what we can do is we have a FB event page where we've posted Ryan's, this let's talk about it conversations that we've had. So I'll just send you the link, and you can just go and download, because all the YouTube videos are on that of our last call.
Right, if you can find Sangeeta, or if you can find me or one of the hosts, then you can find the link to the previous Zoom that we did.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yay.
You guys were absolutely phenomenal, and it was a really nice talk. And my stinking went away. I'm sure the others did too.
How does it get any better than that?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So
See you all in class.
Everyone.
Yes, we will see you all in class soon.
We will have the class one way or another. This time or another time. Somehow, somewhere.
Yes.
Okay. So
bye.
thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.